Hi friends, welcome to Storytime with Jess. Today we are reading The Christmas Promise, and this book is by Susan Bartoletti. One autumn night after Papa's job and his money ran out, we packed our belongings in bundles and followed Main Street all the way to the rail yard. There, a railroad bull stood guard. When his back was turned, we sneaked into an open boxcar. Soon we were riding free on the red ball. Woo! The train called. High and thin, and its wheels clattered beneath us. Papa tucked my braids into my cap and told me not to worry. We'll find someplace else that's good, girl. I squeezed Papa's hand. Papa always kept his promises. To town after town we rode the rail, always looking for someplace good. But town after town we had the same signs. No work, everywhere. Some nights Papa found hobo signs chalked beneath railroad bridges. He taught me what they meant. We kindled fires and roasted potatoes while freight trains rattled overhead. Other nights we followed signs to hobo jungles, where hobos shared mulligan stew with us. We drank coffee from soup cans and listened to stories about mean dogs and hobo kings. Before long, the trees dropped their leaves and it turned so cold that our breath froze in the air. To keep warm, we stuffed folded newspapers inside our coats and wrapped our shoes with tape. Worry wrinkled Papa's forehead as he warmed my hands in his. "You okay?" he asked. "I'm okay," I told him, but I was worried too. Would Papa find a place for us to live? And that's not all I was worried about. I was starting to see signs of Christmas everywhere. Santa Clauses jingled bells at street corners, and store windows showed off tiny china tea sets and dolls in pretty dresses. "Papa," I asked, "do hobos have Christmas?" He took a long time to answer. "Yes," he said, not looking at me. "They figure out a way." Soon it grew too cold to sleep beneath railroad bridges and in hobo jungles, so we stayed in crowded missions where they fed us cold tomatoes, boiled potatoes, and muggy bread. We tied our shoes around our wrists so nobody could trade during the night. The mission ladies taught me to pray. "Ask and ye shall receive," they told me, "for even the sparrow finds a home and the swallow a nest." Night after night I prayed for someplace good. A few weeks before Christmas, Papa and I jumped from a boxcar as it slowed near a switchman's shanty. "Hold it," said a voice that made me shiver. We raised our hands over our heads, and the railroad bull marched us to jail for trespassing. Even the jail was decorated for Christmas. The sheriff wore a big silver star. His wife poured extra milk in my soup and watched me with sorry eyes. On my hand, Papa drew 2 circles, one touching the other. In hobo, it meant, "Don't give up." The next morning, daylight spilled through a dirty window. The sheriff and his wife whispered back and forth with Papa. I heard words like school and proper clothing. My fingers shook as I tightened the buttons on our coats and patched a tear in Papa's pants. At last we were free. As we walked, Papa held my hand, not saying a word. We stopped at a white clapboard house. Candles shined in the windows, and a fat tree flickered like the brightest star in the front room. 123 Weatherby Lane, Papa said softly. A hobo sign was scratched on the curb. "Look, Papa," I said. It was Kind Lady. Papa clutched his hat and rapped twice on the back door. A wide woman with a baby on her hip answered. The baby smiled and buried his face in the woman's apron. Another small face peeked out from behind her skirt. The kitchen smelled warm and sugary like cookies. A cook stove gleamed in one corner. Real cups with handles were stacked by the sink. Papa nudged me gently. "Wait outside while we talk." I sat on the steps, wishing I could taste that kitchen a little longer. I crossed my fingers. Maybe this was the place for Papa and me. I imagined Christmas stockings and cups of hot chocolate. Soon, Papa was kneeling beside me. "Girl," he said slowly, "this is someplace good for you, especially now with Christmas so near." I uncrossed my fingers. "But Papa, what about you?" "I'll be back as soon as I can find work." He drew 2 circles on my palm and kissed my hand. "I promise." And then he was gone. I tried not to cry. The woman put her arm around me. "Let it all out," she said. Papa was right. 123 Weatherby Lane was a good place where nobody traded shoes during the night, and I drank hot chocolate in real cups, and I had my own stocking hanging at the fireplace. But all those good things didn't stop me from missing Papa. Whenever I heard the train whistle high and thin, I thought about Papa, riding free on the red ball. "Find someplace good. Come back for me," I prayed. And before the first Christmas star came out, he did. The end. Thank you so much for joining us with Storytime with Jess. Be sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.